After coming across handmade scented candles in a boutique shop, one man starts his own candle-making company. In historic Charleston, South Carolina, Mark Gaskins owns and operates a kitchen equipment business, which provides commercial equipment on wheels for wedding venues. The business is predictable, based largely on the spring and fall wedding seasons. Demand slows to a trickle during the cold winter months, as well as the hot summer months. This job was originally a side gig he did while he was bartending. When the bar he worked at burned to the ground, the kitchen equipment business became Mark's full-time job. Another important reason to start a side hustle: you never know when you may have to rely on it. During the downtime in his new job, Mark began his new hustle, buying wholesale candles from a local company and selling them on Amazon.com. He'd place orders with the company, they'd ship the candles to Amazon, customers would order, and Amazon would ship the candles to them. The model is called Fulfillment by Amazon, and you'll hear about it in a few other stories throughout the book. Now, that was a nice starter project. Soon, however, Mark realized he'd make more money if he manufactured and sold his own brand of candles. His aha moment was when he walked into an upscale men's store in Austin, Texas, and saw a 9-ounce candle selling for a whopping $85. On the flight home, he began to develop his own brand. He called it Meeting and Market. How do you learn to make candles if you've never done such a thing? Well, you do it just like the ancient Egyptians did. You log on to YouTube and start watching videos. Mark took pages of notes while watching countless video tutorials from a company called Candle Science, which happens to be the largest purveyor of DIY candle supplies in the country. After his free education was complete, he went to a craft store, bought some supplies, and started messing around. He gave away more than 200 candles to friends and family as part of the trial and error process, which contained more errors than works of art. His initial candles were white wax and clear glass with a white label. The design felt very retro, and not in a good way. He wanted something more modern, so he started searching far and wide for glassware until he found an amber cube he really liked. With the new glassware and a redesigned label, sales took off. The biggest issues Mark has dealt with have been with supplies: glassware shortages, label issues, a bad batch of wax, a bad batch of oil that didn't mix well with the wax, and so forth. He also worries about receiving large orders and not being able to meet people's needs due to glassware issues. Mark's candles cost about $7.50 to make, and he sells them for $16 wholesale, $25 at markets, and $32 retail. Expenses include supplies, advertising, and the chunk of sales Amazon takes, so his net profit on Amazon is about 50%. In addition to selling there, he also sells at farmers markets and in some retail stores, as well as on Etsy and through his website. Popular scents include lavender chamomile, red ginger saffron, and blackberry sage. In his second year of business, sales were $43,000. His goal is to make at least $5,000 a month in Amazon sales, in addition to his other channels. Other goals include increasing wholesale buyers through trade shows and eventually making Meeting and Market a national home goods brand, all while continuing his commercial equipment business during the wedding season. He's burning the candle at both ends, but at least these candles pay him back in real money. And here's the critical factor for this story. Now, by the way, at the end of each story, I'm going to give you this critical factor. It's usually a couple of sentences that explain why this particular hustle approach worked. So in this case, critical factor: expensive candles provided the inspiration, and YouTube served as his classroom. From there, Mark made batch after batch of candles, improving craftsmanship and branding each step of the way.